Wow, hello there. Hi, welcome back to WILDCAT as well. Today, I thought we would sit down, chat, relax, as I do a personality test, so you guys get more inside the mind of the genius that is WILDCAT. I'm just kidding. I'm not that conceited. I'm close to that conceited, but not that conceited. No, but for real, I saw my buddy Cryos, or John, I saw him do this, and I was like, wow, that's a good idea, John. John's video is linked down in the description, by the way, if you guys want to go see the inner workings of the Cryos gaming mind. I was like, well, that's a good idea. I should do that. So here we are. So it's a nice change of pace, not a tier list once again. But yeah, anyway, welcome back to WILDCAT as well. Subscribe if you guys enjoy the content. Let's go. All right, here we go. This is 16 personalities, a personality test. I've done one of these before. It was many years ago, and I don't remember shit about it. And well, I'm 30 years old now, so my brain chemistry is completely altered. I'm a different human being. Kind of, but not really. All right, you regularly make new friends. I don't know. I would say somewhat agree with that. You know, I make new friends on YouTube fairly often. I make new friends in real life. I don't really go out of my way to introduce myself. I don't seek new friends, you know, but every now and then I find someone I click with and become a friend. You spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. Yes and no. I'm gonna go with this. No, I'm gonna go with big agree. I like hard tunnel vision on stuff. If I get super interested, like, dude, it'll be Pokemon cards, then it'll be cars, then it'll go to fucking like Lego recently. How many of you guys like Legos? I got like, dude, I could do a video on the channel putting together some Legos. Who would want to see that? It'll be a video game. It'll be a certain kind of video game. It'll go to Pokemon, like the video game. It'll go to fucking basketball. It'll go to golf. It'll go, I don't know, all over the place. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. If it's someone that I like, you know, like someone that's a family member or a friend or someone that I care about, I can agree. You often make a backup plan for a backup plan. I'm gonna go with slightly disagree. I don't think so. You usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. I can kind of agree with that, but I wouldn't say I've ever been under like a crazy amount of, you know, we're talking like video games, or like only been a couple of like actual real world emergencies that I've been around or near or a part of. At social events, you rarely introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. Absolutely agree with, I'm gonna go here. I don't ever go and introduce myself, but like if I'm in a group of friends and there's someone else there, then sure, right? But I'm not gonna go like leave this group that I'm hanging out with that I know and go randomly go hit someone up that I've like, oh, that guy looks interesting to talk to or whatever. I'm gonna kind of agree with that. All right, next. You prefer to completely finish one project before starting another. I'm gonna disagree. My ADHD brain cannot do that. If the project is pretty easy, then yeah, of course, I can start on that project, completely finish it, and then move on to another. But there's very often times where I'll be in the middle of a project and I just get, my brain just goes, oh, this thing's cool. Let's hyper focus on that. I'm also the type of person where like, I don't like to get stuck in the paralysis of the analysis, as they say, where it's like, instead of starting, you sit there and think of all the things that can go wrong or all the things that you should do right before you even start. I like to just start, because I feel like if you at least start and it's something you're really into and you're good at it, you're gonna figure it out. You are very sentimental. Definitely agree. Just, I'm not sure if I'm like maximum crazy sentimental. Yes and no. I can be, it just depends. For instance, like I moved into this house like a year and a half ago, right? And I moved out of my other house that I had lived in for like 4 years previously. I was kind of sentimental because like, oh, it was like that was like the first house I bought, and it was really, you know, it was an awesome experience, and it was a great house. I still couldn't, you know, I can live in that house to this day, right? For the rest of my life, it'd be perfect. But then I moved to a new house, and it's cool. I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is yes, somewhat. Jesus. Hey, why aren't you subscribed? It's free. You're coming back for the videos anyway. Click subscribe. Like the video as well while you're at it. Okay, back into the video. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. I very much agree with that. Now, I might have in the past said no. I've recently been starting to do that more and more, and it's helped me so much. Absolutely agree. It's incredible. Guys, if you don't know, scheduling and organizing and writing down lists is a fucking superpower. For those of you guys who like feel like you can't get stuff done during the day, or you don't have any time, or you find yourself sitting there staring at a wall being like, I know I have things to do, but I don't know what to do, because you didn't make a list. You didn't schedule out your day. If you schedule out your day, you know what you should be doing the whole time. It's not as stressful as it sounds. Trust me, even if you schedule a full day of work, it's just like, boom, you're on from one thing to the next thing. You feel so accomplished. It's good. You can even schedule in free time. And when you have scheduled free time, it's like guilt-free free time, because you know it's like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I planned. Cool. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. Yeah. I'm gonna go with that amount of agreeing. I always see people that can do things that I wish I could do, like, I don't know, say like restoring a car or something, or like even just working on a car, right? It's just like, I see them do it and it's like mind blowing that they can do all these different things correctly and they know how to do it. Whereas if I go to do it, the second I encounter one small problem or do one thing wrong, I'm like, all right, I'm fucking terrible at this. I'm never gonna be good at this, fuck this. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. I'm gonna go more like that amount of disagree. That is not really something. I'll go here. It depends. Very rare case. You are not too interested in discussing various interpretations and analyses of creative works. I'm not gonna say strongly disagree, but I definitely disagree with that. I mean, that's literally what I do on YouTube all the time, is I like look at what other people are doing and analyze and figure out like, oh, that's really interesting. Like, why do they choose to do this way or whatever? Like, what makes that so good? What makes that so entertaining? What makes that cool? I think by the very nature of what I do. You are more inclined to follow your head than your heart. I would agree. I think I'm pretty analytical and logic minded about a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to like decisions. In my heart, I can want something, but if I know it's not a good decision or it's not the right decision at the right time, I'm pretty good about not doing it. So I'm gonna go with there. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine. In the past, I would say yes. Now I would say somewhat disagree. I disagree. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. I mean, obviously nobody wants to make a bad impression, right? Everybody to an extent wants to make a good impression, but ultimately I don't really care. I have plenty of friends. I have people in my life that I'm good with. I don't need to look good in front of some random person I don't care about, you know? But then when it comes to YouTube, right? I want people to like me. I want to be likable, right? And I try to be, sometimes I'm a dumbass and maybe that's part of the reason some people like me. I'm gonna go disagree. I usually, like in general public, I don't give a shit. If I go talk to somebody that I don't know, I don't care what they think of me. It doesn't matter. You enjoy participating in group activities. Very strongly agree. Everything is more fun with a group. I love doing things with friends. The more the merrier type of guy. Now, obviously, if there's any weirdos creeping in, then yeah, get them out of there. But ultimately, the more the merrier is the way I am. You like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending. No, I'm gonna disagree. Not strongly disagree. I'm gonna disagree. Ultimately, I want to be done with the film and not think about it after that. I mean, there's some films that I do, like Interstellar. I thought about that movie and a bunch of other movies in that similar kind of feel, but ultimately, I don't want to have to ponder your fucking ending. Okay? Maybe I have a simple brain. Your happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments. I'm pretty neutral on that. I like helping other people and seeing other people succeed, and it does make me feel good, but I do like my own accomplishments, obviously, but not for the sake of like, oh, look at what I did. It's more of just like, it's a sense of progress. I like feeling like I'm improving or doing something or getting better or like, I'm gonna say, man, I really don't. I guess that's the definition of I should click the middle because I really don't know. You are interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next. I'm gonna disagree with that. I have a lot of interest in life. Like I would love to get into, dude, that's actually one thing that I'm learning and like how I'm really like learning about how limited time we have in the day or even in our lives. Like, dude, there's so many people that are specialized in so many different areas that I think are so cool. Like again, like mechanics or like people that can restore cars. That is fascinating to me and I would love to be able to do it myself. But like the people that are good at it, they've been doing it for like a decade or more. And like seeing how good people are at things that they're into that they've been doing for a decade makes you realize that like, yeah, you ultimately have to pick like one or two things. And those are what you're going to get really, really good at. I think specialization is a big thing. And so there's a lot of things that I'm interested in, but it's not difficult for me to choose things because I just choose what I'm best at and what comes most natural to me. You're prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. Oh boy. This one stabs. This one hits deep for sure. I'm going to probably go with the big, strong agree on that one. I am a fucking worry wart. Say that 10 times fast. Worry. I give up. Yeah, I worry about a lot of shit. It's really annoying. Definitely like anxiety inducing. I think where a lot of my anxiety comes from is I always think of shit that's gonna go wrong. Even like just riding in the fucking car. Just like randomly just like, what if the fucking bridge collapses? Any of you guys do that? Leave a comment if you guys do that. You guys ever be driving your car and like go under an underpass and just like right before you start to get under, you just think, what if that collapsed? I don't know why I think about that shit. I'm fucked up. You avoid leadership roles in group settings. I disagree. I like leadership roles. Sometimes, not all the time, but I definitely don't avoid them. I'm okay taking charge, even if I'm a dumbass. You are definitely not an artistic type of person. I can agree and disagree. Obviously, you would think that like, oh, you make YouTube videos, right? That's a creative thing. You would technically be an artist. And while maybe, sure, my art really is not art. I just can make jokes. I'm not talented in music. I'm not talented in storytelling. I'm not talented in painting or any kind of traditional art. So I'm gonna go with slightly disagree. You think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings? I'm gonna agree with that. That's more of like imagine like someone like people that get upset at like, and I'm guilty of this too. You're out in public, right? And you know something happened, like a restaurant is slow, right? And like that is fucking annoying. Nobody wants that, right? Everybody wants to go out, have a good time, do it on their schedule, right? But when other people are holding you up, like that sucks, right? And it's not a fun feeling. Ultimately, rationally, you got to be like, okay, this restaurant's understaffed. That's just how things are gonna work. I need to fucking chill out. I wish more people could do that in other scenarios. Obviously, not just the restaurant thing. You know what the fuck I'm saying? I'm gonna say yes. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. I'm gonna kind of agree. I'm gonna go in the middle. It just depends. Some days when you're really overwhelmed, it's good. You just need to relax, reset the mind and the body, and then get back to it. I'm gonna go in the middle. I don't know. You enjoy watching people argue. Yes and no. Obviously, I like. Immediately, what comes to mind is Nogla and Brian. Obviously, that's very fun. It depends, but out in public, it's like fucking calm down, psychos. I'm gonna go ahead and say agree though. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. I'm gonna go with, this may be shocking, but I'm gonna go with a pretty big agree. You may think, wow, you're a YouTuber. You're literally the definition of an attention-seeking fuck. And while you might be kind of true, I have been doing this for a decade. I have gotten the attention I have desired. I no longer desire an extra attention. It all comes out so weird. I'm not saying like I'm a celebrity or something. I just mean like I'm not trying to go and like fucking make a big hoopla and be the big loud guy in the group, right? In public, generally. If I'm around people I'm comfortable with and I know, then sure, right? I don't really do that. I get all the attention I need right here from you guys. Your mood can change very quickly. Definitely agree with that. I don't know if I want to strongly agree with it, but I'm going to agree with it for sure. All it takes is an hour of Call of Duty and all of a sudden I am pissed. It's actually, I think the most shocking mood change that I can experience is if I'm feeling great going into a recording session and then that session goes horribly where I spend 2 hours, I don't have any fun. I feel like the footage was, I delete the footage. It was a waste of time. That is fucking such a complete turnaround in mood. I go in being optimistic and excited and ready to have fun to like, holy fuck, my channel's dead. I'm a failure. I'm not funny. There's nothing to do on YouTube. You lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. Part of me wants to say agree, because I don't feel like I'm a very smart person in some regards, but if you give me fucking 10 minutes of my attention and you walk me through how to do something, I can do it. And at that point, I feel like anybody else should be able to do it too. And a lot of people can't. Good Tennessee drivers. I don't know what the fuck you guys, I don't know who taught you guys how to drive. You don't have to take drivers training courses or something here. Tennessee drivers, you guys blow my fucking mind on a daily basis. I lose my patience with you all the time. Agree. You guys suck. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. In the past, definitely a lot. Yeah, when it came to schoolwork and shit like that, for sure. These days, I'm much better about it, but it definitely still happens, so I'm gonna go with agree. You've always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death. And I think everybody kind of has a little bit, right? If you're religious and you have the faith that you know what's gonna happen, right? Then you probably don't think about it as much, but I'm kind of fascinated by it. I don't know, who the fuck knows? You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. It's not always. I like my alone time. Obviously, I live with my fiance, but there's many hours of the day where she goes into her room that's right over there and she plays her games, and I come into this room and I play my games or I do my work. We're completely separated and we both like that alone time and it's important. I'm just gonna go in the middle. No, I'm gonna go with disagree. Yeah, I'm gonna go with disagree. Also, I was an only child for 12 years of my childhood, so most of my childhood, and that kind of trained me to like be comfortable being alone. I can entertain myself. So you become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. Absolutely. I could not stand hypothetical conversation. It is such a complete waste of time to me. Now, theoreticals, it's a little bit different, but hypotheticals, I like something that will probably most of the time never happen. I can't wrap my head around wanting to like spend brain power on that. So I'm going to agree. You find it easy to empathize with a person whose experience are very different from yours. Yes and no. If I can see the experience and see how much different it is than mine, then yes. I feel like I can put myself in those shoes, you know? I would say I agree. A slight agree. You usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible. That's a somewhat agree, but also a disagree. I've been better about that. It just depends. I'm gonna slightly disagree. I think I've been better about it, but maybe not. Maybe not. You rarely second guess the choices that you have made. Yeah, sometimes it happens, obviously. I think those two are kind of interlinked, where like if I disagree that I usually postpone finalizing, that means I make the decision fairly quick. And I feel like the quicker you make a decision, the more likely you are to second guess it, right? Or maybe the more you sit there and fucking ponder and think about it, maybe the more, I don't know. I would say it's pretty rare that I second guess it. After a long and exhausting week, a lively social event is just what you need. I'm gonna disagree. After a long, exhausting week, usually it's some alone time. That's not to say that it couldn't be the other way. You enjoy going to art museums. I've never been to an art museum, so I'm gonna put that in the middle. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. I'm gonna disagree with that. I think I'm very good at understanding how people are feeling. I often feel like I'm very good at like reading people, like in social situations. Like I can kind of look at someone's face and kind of tell like how they're feeling about the situation, or just based on how they're talking or body language. I think I'm pretty good at that. I like to have a to-do list for each day. Definitely agree. Getting a lot better about that. You rarely feel insecure. This might have been something that if I did this test years ago, I would have said disagree, that I do feel insecure. But at this point, you guys have seen me at my best and my worst. I'm fucking 30 years old. I have all the friends I need. I have my fiance. I have everything I need. I don't give a fuck what people think of me really anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and say agree. You avoid making phone calls. Absolutely. I fucking hate phone calls. Don't fucking call me. Send me a text first. Let's start there. And then if it seems like, okay, this is worth my attention, let's talk for 5 minutes, then sure. Otherwise, let me multitask and respond to your text here and there. Okay? Absolutely. Fuck phone calls. Now, if you call me and I'm expecting the call, like if it's a doctor's call or if I need to call a doctor or whatever, that kind of thing, I'm not going to avoid it. But ultimately, if you're my friend and you're just trying to call me, hey, what's up? Just text me, please. For the love of God. You spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own. Yes and no. I'll go slightly agree, I guess. I don't know how to expand on that. In your social circle, you are often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities. I'm going to go ahead and say agree. I have a pretty proactive friend group where everybody's kind of hitting up everybody all the time. I'm definitely towards the higher end of that, I would say. I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to go there. Sure. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. Yes, I don't like being interrupted, which is why I don't like phone calls. If I'm in the middle of something and my fucking phone rings, I want to throw it out the window. I want to do what I'm doing, get done with that, then we can talk on the phone. You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. Not really. Everybody makes mistakes. As long as you learn from them, you do better, you improve, you try to avoid those mistakes. Mistakes shape who you are, and as long as you learn something, I'm not too bothered. So I'm gonna disagree. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. I'm gonna disagree. I wouldn't say it's like I think about it all the fucking time, but it definitely pops up. Like, this shit is crazy, bro. We're just on a fucking rock floating around in space. This shit is mind-blowing. Like, what else is out there? What is out there, 10 million light years away or whatever? What's on other fucking galaxies? There's trillions of galaxies. Every galaxy has billions and trillions of stars. Every star potentially can have dozens of planets, and then every one of those planets potentially could be inhabiting, in its zone that could inhabit life as we know it. There could even be life that we don't understand that could be inhabiting other. It's fucking mind-blowing. It's insane to me. I want to go ahead and say agree. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Yes and no. I would say I'm pretty emotional. I can be pretty emotional. I'm a bit of a bitch. I'll be honest. Okay, I'll be honest. I get very easily overwhelmed. So like if there's a powerful emotion, I get kind of overwhelmed and it kind of takes over. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. You take great care not to make people look bad, even when it is completely their fault. It depends. If I like you, then sure. If I don't like you, then I don't give a fuck. You fucked up. Take the blame. That's your fault, not my fault. So I'm gonna go ahead and go right in the middle. I don't give a fuck. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. Absolutely. That's a huge agree. I mean, that's just the nature of what I do. If I have a spontaneous burst of energy, I should go record and play game. That's what I'm doing right now. It's 11:15 p.m. at night. Sometimes I would be in bed by now, but I just happen to have energy, happen to want to do this video. So here I am. I feel like that's a big thing with YouTube. Like, I cannot force myself to make a video. If I'm having a bad day or I'm in a bad mood, it's just not gonna happen, which is why I don't bother scheduling stuff a lot of the time, because it just doesn't work. It's also why, like, I'll take naps sometimes, not because like I think I want to take a nap every day or some shit. It's more of just like, if I don't have the energy and I'm just like grogging along, it's way more efficient for me to go take a 20-30 minute nap and just have some life again than it is to like force my groggy ass to go try and make a video. It just can't be done. So big agree there. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. Not really. I don't like disappointing people, obviously, but I don't think it's something I do super often. I really, like, if I care about you, I try not to disappoint you. I want to disagree with that. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it, no, I don't wonder how long it will take. I'm going to actually strongly disagree with that. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Hard to disagree. Obviously, I don't fucking do solo videos on YouTube. I need other people around me. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. No. Hypotheticals, yes, where it's like, hypothetically, if you had two dicks, you know, what would they look like, or how would you use that's I don't want to think about that. I don't give a fuck. Okay, but philosophical questions, sure. I don't think it's a waste of time. I'm gonna disagree. You feel more drawn to places with busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places. I'm going to agree with that. And this is where like me and my fiance are like total opposites. My house that I'm in currently is kind of out in the country a little bit. We have 10 acres of land. It's very quiet. There's neighbors, but the neighbors are like several acres away. They're there, but they're pretty far away. It's not like a bustling suburb or city environment where there's people walking their dog across the sidewalk in front of the house. It doesn't happen. I actually liked that. I liked my old house was like in a suburb, and I liked that I could look out the window and see people just doing their thing, right? The neighbor's washing his car. The kids are playing in the street. There's some guy walking his dog. Like, I liked that. I liked being in that environment. So I'm going to say agree. You know at first glance how someone is feeling. I'm going to agree. I'm pretty good about that. We kind of talked about this already. You often feel overwhelmed. I'm going to also agree. That is probably my biggest weakness, is I am very easily overwhelmed. If it's like one thing that's urgent that I don't understand how to do, I will be on the verge of a mental breakdown. If I feel like I have 100 things to do and not enough time to do them, and I feel like I'm going to disappoint some people in the process, very overwhelmed. I'm going to absolutely big agree with that. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. I'm gonna hard disagree with that. There's nothing methodical about the way I do anything. I just start doing it and figure it out as I go. Disagree. You are very intrigued by things labeled as controversial. I mean, just by nature of what I do, I guess. Yeah. Like, why? Like, some people freak out about the dumbest things, and I'm like, why the fuck is this so controversial? Who cares? Actually, I'm gonna go here. You would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more. Yeah. I mean, I'm in a position. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with that. I'm in a position now where it's like like I said, I'm good. I've got everything I need in life. I'm doing things that I enjoy and I'm passionate about. Yeah, I'm gonna agree. You struggle with deadlines. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with that. I don't like deadlines. I get that they're important, but a super hard, strict deadline, I will blow past that shit all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with that. You feel confident that things will work out for you. Yes and no. It just depends. Sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm like, oh, I'm fucked. Like, everything's gonna come crashing down. But at the same time, there's a lot of times where I'm like, all right, at the end of the day, everything works out at some point in some way. I'm gonna go ahead and agree. All right, it's time for results. Let's see. No shit. No shit. Entertainers are spontaneous, energetic, and enthusiastic people. Life is never boring around them. Wow. I answered those honestly. I gave an explanation for everything. It's what I was fucking born to do, people. And if you agree, be sure to subscribe and leave a like down below. And leave a comment. Tell me what personality you guys got and why you think that is correct or incorrect. Do you think that I was pretty accurate with my answers? Some of you guys know me pretty well. You guys have been watching for a long time. Let's see. I am slightly extroverted. I would say so. I would say I'm pretty close to 50-50 with a slight extroversion. Extroverted individuals readily enjoy group activities and value social interaction. They tend to be outwardly enthusiastic, yeah. Observant rather than intuitive. Observant individuals are pragmatic and down to earth. They tend to have a strong focus on what is happening or very likely to happen. Sure. Feeling overthinking. Feeling individuals value emotional expression and sensitivity. They place a lot of importance on empathy, social harmony, and cooperation. Prospecting versus judging. Prospecting individuals are very good at improvising and adapting to opportunities. They tend to be flexible nonconformists who value novelty above stability. Yes, that one makes a lot of sense. That one I absolutely agree with. Turbulent versus assertive. Turbulent individuals are self-conscious and sensitive to stress. They feel a sense of urgency in their emotions and tend to be success-driven, perfectionist, and eager to improve. That one is fucking nail on the head. Holy shit, that is absolutely resonates with me. was cool. Let me know what you guys got. If you guys did the personality test, let me know your results and, you know, why you think they are or are not correct. You guys think that this is a good test? You think it's pretty accurate? I would say so, considering it said entertainer for a fucking entertainer. And it just proves I was fucking born to do this and natural to do this. And if you don't subscribe, you're an idiot. So that's on you. Subscribe. Let me know any other videos you guys want to see me do. And if you liked this sort of thing, and maybe we can do more stuff like this. Thank you guys for watching WILDCAT as well. Subscribe, like, I'll see you later.